Most people keep a snake plant somewhere in the house, maybe in a corner, near a window, or on a shelf they barely pay attention to. You water it occasionally, ignore it most of the time, and it just sits there. Then one day, a tall flower spike appears, and it feels completely unexpected. So what actually causes that to happen? Is it something you did right, or something you accidentally changed? Why do some snake plants bloom while most never do? And is there a way to make it happen again without guessing? What makes this interesting is that blooming isn't just about good care. It's about timing, small environmental shifts, and a few overlooked factors that most plant owners don't think about. Subscribe to Exoticaplants if you want to understand what your plants are really doing. The snake plant, also known as Dracaena trifasciata, is one of the most common indoor plants in the US, mainly because it's so easy to care for. It tolerates low light, irregular, watering and dry indoor air, which makes it ideal for apartments, offices, and busy households. Many people even buy it for its reputation in improving indoor air quality, making it popular in wellness-focused homes. Because it's so resilient, most people treat it as a set-it-and-forget-it plant. It survives with minimal attention and continues to grow slowly over time. That reliability is exactly why expectations around it are so low. People don't expect anything dramatic from it. But then something unusual happens. Instead of just producing more leaves, the plant sends up a long flower stalk with small, fragrant white or greenish blooms. These flowers often open at night and can release a light scent. For many owners, this is the first time they even realize the plant is capable of blooming, and that's where the confusion starts. A plant known for being low maintenance suddenly does something rare and unpredictable. It doesn't happen often, and when it does, it doesn't seem tied to any obvious change in care. That contradiction between how simple the plant is and how rare the bloom is what makes this so intriguing. This is where things start to shift. Snake plants don't bloom regularly indoors, and for many people, it never happens at all. You can keep one for 10 or even 20 years without ever seeing a flower. At the same time, someone else might get a bloom after just a few years without doing anything special. That difference is what breaks expectations. Most people assume better care leads to blooming, but with snake plants, that's not always true. In many cases, blooming happens when the plant experiences a slight change in its environment. Not perfect conditions, but slightly altered ones. In their natural habitat in West Africa, snake plants grow under changing conditions. They go through dry periods, shifting light exposure and temperature variations throughout the year. These changes act as signals that guide their growth and reproductive cycles. Indoors, those signals are mostly removed. The temperature stays stable, watering becomes predictable, and lighting conditions don't change much. As a result, the plant stays in a steady growth state without any reason to reproduce. But when something disrupts that stability, even slightly, it can trigger a response. A plant moved closer to a window may suddenly receive more light. A change in watering habits may allow the soil to dry out more than usual. Even seasonal shifts near a window can introduce subtle temperature changes. These aren't dramatic differences, but they are enough to signal the plant that conditions are changing. And that's when blooming becomes possible. Not guaranteed, but possible. In many cultures, a blooming snake plant is seen as a sign that something has shifted, not necessarily in a mystical sense, but in a practical, observable way. People notice that the bloom often appears after a change, moving homes, rearranging furniture, or adjusting routines. In its native regions, the plant has long been associated with resilience and protection. When it blooms, some interpret it as a reflection of balance in its environment. Among modern plant owners, it's often seen as a rare milestone, something worth sharing because it doesn't happen often. What stands out across different experiences is consistency. The bloom is rarely random. It tends to follow a period where something about the plant's environment has changed, even if the owner didn't realize it at the time. This doesn't mean every bloom carries deeper meaning, but it does highlight a pattern. The plant responds to shifts. And those shifts, even small ones, are often the missing piece people overlook when trying to understand why their plant behaves the way it does. If this is changing how you see your snake plant, hit like. It helps more people discover this kind of content and lets me know you want more breakdowns like this. Now here's where the science makes things clearer. Snake plant blooming is primarily tied to maturity, environmental stress, and energy availability. The plant needs to reach a certain level of development before it can even consider flowering, which usually takes several years. One of the biggest triggers is root restriction. When the roots fill up the pot and have limited space to expand, the plant senses that its current environment may not support long-term growth. This creates a mild stress response, not enough to harm the plant, but enough to shift its priorities toward reproduction. Light exposure also plays a major role. While snake plants survive in low light, blooming requires more energy. Plants placed in brighter, indirect light have a better chance of building the energy needed to support flowering. Watering patterns matter as well. Allowing the soil to dry out more between watering mimics the plant's natural dry conditions. This controlled stress encourages the plant to transition from steady growth into a reproductive phase. Temperature variation adds another layer. Even slight seasonal changes, such as cooler nights near a window, can act as environmental signals. These shifts don't need to be extreme to be effective. It's important to understand that this doesn't eliminate unpredictability. Even when all these factors are present, blooming is still relatively rare indoors. This works over time, not instantly, and some plants may never bloom at all. So when a snake plant finally produces flowers, it's not because of one single factor. It's the result of multiple conditions aligning gradually. When you connect all of this, the pattern becomes easier to understand. What seems random is actually a buildup of small changes. Slightly more light, slightly less water, tighter roots. Each factor adds up over time. Individually, none of these changes stand out, but together they send a clear signal to the plant. The conditions are shifting, and that signal triggers a response focused on reproduction. This is why people often feel surprised when their plant blooms. They didn't notice the gradual changes happening around it, but the plant did. The idea that blooming follows change shows up consistently, whether you look at personal experiences or scientific explanations. Both point to the same conclusion: the plant responds to its environment in a very specific way. It doesn't bloom because everything is perfect. It blooms because conditions have shifted just enough to activate that process. And once you see it this way, the mystery becomes less about chance and more about understanding how small, consistent factors influence plant behavior over time. Now here's how you can apply this in a practical way. Start by improving light exposure. Place your snake plant near a bright window where it can receive consistent, indirect sunlight. If it has been in low light, transition it gradually to avoid shock. Next, adjust your watering habits. Instead of watering on a fixed schedule, allow the soil to dry out completely before watering again. This may mean watering less often than you're used to, especially in cooler seasons. Pay attention to the pot size. A slightly root-bound plant is more likely to bloom than one with excess space. Avoid repotting too frequently and only move up one pot size when necessary. A cactus or succulent mix works well for maintaining the right balance between moisture and airflow. Use well-draining soil to prevent water from sitting around the roots. Allow for natural temperature variation where possible. Keeping the plant near a window can introduce subtle seasonal changes that help trigger its natural cycle. Fertilize lightly during the growing season, but don't overdo it. Too much fertilizer can push leaf growth instead of encouraging blooming. Most importantly, be patient. This process takes time and results are not guaranteed. You may follow all these steps and still not see a bloom right away. That's normal. What you're doing is creating the right conditions, not forcing the outcome. Over time, these adjustments increase the likelihood of blooming, but the plant will respond on its own timeline. A snake plant blooming isn't about one perfect action. It's about consistency, small changes, and allowing natural processes to unfold. A blooming snake plant is not random, but it's also not something you can fully control. It happens when multiple conditions align over time: maturity, light, water, and subtle stress all working together. Even then, it doesn't happen for everyone, and that's important to accept. But when it does happen, it reflects a process that has been building quietly in the background. It's the result of gradual change, not a single moment. Understanding that changes how you approach plant care. Instead of chasing quick results, you focus on creating stable, realistic conditions and letting the plant respond naturally. That's what makes the bloom meaningful. It's not forced, and it's not immediate. It's earned over time through alignment of the right factors. If your snake plant has ever bloomed, think back to what was different before it happened. Was it getting more light, less water, or sitting in a tighter pot? Small details like that can make a big difference. Share your experience in the comments. Real examples help others understand what actually works in everyday settings. And if you want more practical, realistic breakdowns like this, subscribe to Exoticaplants. It's all about understanding how plants really behave, not just following basic care tips.